Smoke's nice and thick this morning. Water must taste good though. It's quite dirty, but I guess we're moving on. Yeah, water's definitely gone down quite a ways. Considering the mud line is clear up here, which is quite a ways from the river right now. Figured get out here, get a walk in before it got too hot again. But obviously with amount of smoke in the air, it might only hit 80 today, which is good. Oh, it's amazing how much growth comes back even after the river rages through, clears it all out. You actually see some of the taller stuff from last year's that survived. But this year, the new stuff's pretty short. Well, except for the alders up here. The alder's kind of a nice tree. Grow anywhere. Grows fast. Of course, that's probably why it dies fast too. Come on, Bjorn. Yeah. Last time we were up here, or out here, this was the water line. Right through here. So you can see how far it's gone down, and fresh mud just means it's going down constantly. Until we get some rain, it's going to keep going down. We could use some rain, clear the smoke out of the air, get some of these fires out. I have not seen any elk sign. It's kind of weird for around here. This way, big buddy. Let's go around the bushes. Bjorn. I don't mind letting him run around by himself out here on the rock bar. He's usually pretty good as long as he's in line of sight. Not much for flowers. There are some here and there. Seen a bunch of grasshoppers out here. It's that time of year, they're everywhere. I don't know what they're out here doing. There's not a whole lot to eat. There's a nice one. Just about done flowering. Interesting plant, huh? I think it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I got up a got up to watch the sunrise, and then I couldn't even see it. I could see where it was in the sky, but I couldn't see the sun. I laid back down. It's like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get a good sunrise. My camera, I don't know if it actually caught the footage I took of the moon last night coming up. I doubt it. Most of the nighttime shots I've taken with this thing have all been junk. That's alright. I got to see it. That's all that matters. Yeah, we just decided to come out here. The dog was itching for a walk. I think he just wanted to go somewhere and go poop. He does do pretty good, unless he absolutely is desperate. He won't go to the bathroom in camp. But he will pee on absolutely every bush he runs by. And when we're coming back through here, he's going to sniff all these bushes, make sure you hit them. I think it's kind of funny myself. Did end up having to readjust my hammock a little bit. Wasn't enough room under it for the dog, so I had to raise her up a little bit more. I'm carrying a little bit. I'm going to try to get out here on this little bit of gravel bar. I think I can actually do it now. Let me get some close-ups of the water. Be one of those times I should have brought the fishing pole. There's a couple of good spots. One just right down there, and another one just right above us here. Yeah, water's down quite a ways, considering in March we were, what, 4 feet above there. I've been out here at times where that water's been close to going up all the way up this bank over here. Flood seasons. Alright, back to camp. I think it might be time to make breakfast and relax a little bit. Yeah, hello everybody. I was getting ready to make some food and realized I didn't bring a spatula. So, nice thing about bringing tools is I need myself a spatula. Now I'm hot. Starting to warm up out here. Pretty easy. I found a nice chunk of wood just laying over here in the bush. Nice and dry. Drew out the shape. Chiseled it out with the axe and basically just took the knife to it and finished her off. Worked out good. Pretty thick smoke. Nice and cool down here though. The breeze off the water is great, but it is breezy. See camps up there. Sometimes the river leaves rocks in some weird spots. That red rock over there is just balanced on another one. Kind of neat. Yeah, I really can't see the hill very good up there. Eyes have been kind of burning and sinuses are a little messed up. Smoke's pretty thick. Out here you can see some of the leaves that are changing. Sorry about the wind. A sad day when that big old maple goes into the river. Probably cross that bugger up there. Still pretty swift. Yeah, last time we were up here, all these rocks out here that are exposed were underwater. And looks the rocks below me, looks like it's gone down about an inch just since we've been here. Try to walk back. Pretty hardcore walking through here. Not that I'm really worried about getting my feet wet, but better to stay dry when I don't want to. Nice little pool. Really wanted to, you could get in this one and take a bath. It's pretty deep right in there. Not bad. I mean, smoke kind of sucks and all, but overall the day isn't bad. This light breeze blowing up the river has been kind of nice. Yep, just having a good time. I was out hiking around the gravel bar. Nice spot I thought was a big old vein of quartz. Just happened to be the leftovers of it, so grabbed a hammer and chisel. Went out there and got me a couple nice chunks. I won't know how good they are till I get them home cut and polished and get them all done up, but it's not often you actually find quartz out here, so I'm kind of happy about that. Still smoky. It actually feels and smells like it's getting thicker. Oh. Getting really tough to make out the hills. And that's only a couple miles away, so. But still enjoying it, having a good time. Radio just told me it was 64 degrees down in the lowlands, and I looked at my watch and it's 84 degrees up here, so still warm. Not blazing hot, but warm. The leaves are falling pretty good. Getting more and more debris on the ground as the time goes on. Absolutely beautiful. Out here taking the dog for another walk. This is the trail that goes out of camp. The smoke is getting really bad. Can barely even see the hill over there now. Wind is from the south, so I imagine a lot of this smoke's coming up from Oregon. You choose, buddy, I don't care. He's not used to being in the lead. Probably should have put some pants on. These bushes are scratching me up pretty good. A lot of people wonder about, you know, forest fires and why they blow through here so bad. If you look at the ground, all this grass is bone dry for the most part. A lot of the leaves and the trees are lacking water. The fir trees, the leaves on a fir tree are almost pure sap. I mean, it's like firecrackers when you throw a green one on a fire. We weren't in a band, I'd demonstrate that. But in an old place like this, there's a lot of dead. And that dead stuff, it burns quick. Even some of the taller trees got a lot of Like this one right here is a big tree that's completely dead, big maple. That bugger spark right up. And I see a lot more trees even out in this area that are marked for cutting. That one right there, see if we can get the mark on it, is a nice one. That'd probably be a good telephone pole or something. And I'm sure that's that or lumber, whatever they're cutting them for. Okay, he's gonna follow the deer trail. Buddy, I don't want to hike through the salal. It's prickly. He doesn't even feel that stuff. Oh, such a beautiful forest out here. And it's way overdue for burning. You look at the ground and you can see dead branches everywhere. On average, most every area in our area at least burns once every 50 years. When you let the undergrowth get this bad, that's what happens. The little bit of greenery that is on the ground won't help when the tops of these trees start catching fire and just blows through these fir trees. And the cedar trees, cedar's so full of sap, it makes great firewood because, or fire starter, kindling. Because it catches a spark really well and burns. It burns fast, but it burns good. But yeah, you can see this place hasn't burned in a long time. I don't see any burned trees. The trees, these fir trees, when they do burn, most times will recover. They will come back. That's why they let some of the fires just burn. If it's in an area there's no population and stuff like that, just let them burn. The undergrowth comes back really quick, surprisingly. Some things, like, you know, some pine trees I know that need burns to actually propagate, to open up the seed pods. Firs aren't quite the same. They can hit the ground, dry up, and the seeds will come out. You can see this one's full of seeds. Let's see if I can get one out. No, this one's empty. Looked like it had, oh, there's a seed right there. They're not big. It's amazing the big trees that we have, you know. But no matter where I reach out here, everything's dry. Of course, that was blackberry. A little spiny one is dry. And a little spiny one is green too, I guess. Everything out here will burn. Like this big tree over here. And you come down and you look at the ground, here's some that's strangling roots that are exposed, and these are pretty much dead roots, and they're very dry. Enough of these burn, it will kill the tree. Right now, almost all the plants out here look sad from dehydration. The maple leaves are just kind of shriveling up, time to fall off. The only thing that seems to stay bright and green even in these drought situations is the salal and Oregon grape. Obviously they don't need much water. But as you can see, some of these plants, the leaves are completely curled up. Of course, they've already flowered and finished what they need to do as a propagation. This is why the fires out here blaze so well. And they don't usually happen in the same place year after year, because there's no fuel left. And all these sticks on the ground, they will burn up, and then if it tries to catch fire here again next year, it won't have a good chance. I don't want this area to burn. I really enjoy being out here. All the dang trees. These are all good trees, 30, 40 years old. I mean, places like this, that's a big old pitch pocket. That'd burn and explode once it gets to a certain temperature. Alright, buddy, go ahead. Dog's being impatient with me. We went for a hike out to the end of the road and back, and hike out there at my pace, but came back at his. There's a blue line in the ground. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. This is the cut boundary. So they're not cutting over here, but everything this side of the line they will. Well, selectively, obviously. The big trees are not marked. Just probably the 30-year-olds, 35-year-old trees, straight. You know, the guys that cut those trees, they want the good stuff. They're gonna come in and thin out an area. One day I'm gonna really miss this maple. It's a beautiful tree. Love that tree. But it is only 15 feet from the river. Eventually the river will win. You know, water is the most powerful thing we have around here. One thing I've noticed hiking out here, there's a lot of areas where people have just thrown toilet paper everywhere. I mean, least they could do is bury that stuff, you know? I mean, there's toilet paper thrown in the bushes. Don't agree with that. I don't come out here for that. Well, big boy here, he just took a dump, but he doesn't use toilet paper anyway. You done, or you need to do some more work? Oh, nice. Yeah, even close to camp, there's toilet paper. It's just irritating. Unlike somebody like this, it just brings out a chair to poop in. I don't have a problem with that. I actually have one. I don't use it very often, but it fits over a 5-gallon bucket, and I can bring trash bags to put in the bucket, you know, if you're that way about it. I actually dig a hole, do like I'm supposed to, get away from the river. I mean, these toilet paper all over the place, and this is too close to the river. It's not a good thing. Irritating thing for sure. I don't usually get bugged when I'm out in the woods, but regular garbage and stuff like that, I don't mind a little bit. Like I picked up a couple cans and some bottles today when I was walking around. I don't mind something like that. That's not too big of a deal to me. But the overflow of toilet paper that I'm just not willing to pick up, that's too much. That's why I get these places closed. That's why this is probably the last best site on this river that's actually comes and is directly on the river. Well, you can see now that hill over there is actually completely gone. Can't even see it anymore. It's a lot of smoke. Can't smell it anymore. I think I've acclimated, but certainly see it. Another perspective, another time of year. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this once a month up here. So that way I have a 1-year chronicle of what it's like up here. Right now, a lot of forest fires, and it's smoky. Water's dirty. Most of the year it's clean. I'm sure after our first rain it's going to be really brown. But once it starts freezing up here and doing that kind of thing, it'll clear up. It'll be nice.